Hello everyone, it's John Cope again from Cope Racing Transmission. Today in the CRT channel, we're going to go over the 518 swap that we did on this 73 Challenger. We're not going to go on the build or anything, but we're going to show you what has to be done to the car itself for this transmission to go in. So stick around, you're going to enjoy the video. Basically what I'm going to show you folks today is how a 518 or a 46RH fits into the 70 to 74 Challengers and Cudas. This particular one is automatic shift, so we have some pressure switches as the customer wanted the overdrive and the lockup to come on automatically. And that was a little bit of a struggle for us because we bought a kit from a parts company who said that the sensors, the pressure sensors, were tuned to a certain PSI and that they would come on at a certain time, and we come to find out that there were nothing like what they said. And so I went with my own route. Well, we have these pressure switches, and the first thing I saw when it came to me that they say made in China. I bought them from an American company in Texas thinking I was getting an American product, but nowadays you just don't know. So the switches that are in the car now don't work. So we got these adjustable switches, and we're gonna try them. Lucas is gonna put them on. The one for the lockup is going to be 52 to 90 psi, and that's adjustable for that. And this is what the switch looks like. The switch does have the part number on it, so you don't mix it up. I marked the boxes just so we can keep it straight here. And we're going to run a ground circuit to the on, and then I believe the open one here is the other one. We'll let you know after we get it in there which one it is. But we're hoping that this is going to cure our problem of the lockup and the overdrive coming on immediately after it goes into third gear, which is about 32 psi. 35 miles an hour. Yeah, at 35 miles an hour. We want the overdrive to come in about 50 and the lockup to come in about 55. So we're gonna. I just wanted to get this documented of what these switches are. We don't know if they're gonna work or not, but that's what these tests are for, Marty. And come up with a set of adjustable sensors, and boy, we really got it tweaked now. It works really good. I'll show you that. Also, we're going to show you the fitment of the cross member and how little modifications that you have to do to the underneath of the chassis. Now, there's just a small section, and every car is going to be a little bit different because of the plus or minus that Chrysler had when they were building cars. So I've noticed that this Challenger was just a slight bit different than the blue Challenger that we did the last time out. But for the most part, it's the same, give or take a ½ inch here or there. You do not have to modify the floor in any way whatsoever when you put in a 518 in Challengers and Cudas. I got here is a section. There's a section of the cross member of the frame, actually a part of the subframe that's spot welded to the floors that we did have to modify, only for access to the speedometer cable and speedometer and making sure that cable's hooked up, and I'll show you that. This is the only section that we took out of the car. Okay, so we cut a nice little section out, and I'll show you what it looks like installed. And we took a piece of angle iron, cut it to fit, put it in there, and welded it in so it looks nice and clean. So I'm going to turn the camera around, show you a few things, what we did, how things fit. We actually got the factory shifter also to work, which before we didn't get that done. We always used a reverse, or we always used a B&M shifter, mostly because they're all reverse manuals. This one was our first automatic. Most of the customers that we deal with usually are, a higher horsepower, and they should have a reverse manual anyways. But this gentleman, he wanted a stock shifting automatic overdrive with lockup. We accommodated him, and so let's show you how this thing fits underneath the car. The first thing I want to concentrate on is, could you see the notch right behind the speedometer cable? I hope this is focusing. That's the notch that we took out of the spot welded in frame. And we only did that so the speedometer gear could, you can put the speedometer gear in before, that's not a problem. But getting the cable in and on was just too tight, too close. As you can see where the cable bends in a little bit. So we had to make sure that we could access this. Now, if you run a 46 RE, the E's don't have a speedometer provision, but this one is an H, and so we wanted the speedometer to work. And then what we did is we got a Dodge truck cable from Bouchelam, and we rerouted it all the way back here through the frame. Let me get the light on there. So there it goes, the speedometer cable goes all the way up, where the factory one would not shift, where the factory cable would be too short to reach this, because the speedometer location, the 727 speedometer cable is more forward. The 46 is further back. Here's looking from the front of the car towards the back, where that notch is right there. You can see where we put it in. That was the only thing we had to do. We did weld that in. It's a piece of angle iron. None of the carpeting had to come out for that. That's the only thing we had to do. Now you do have to modify the tail housing, which I'm going to show you. There's the cross member and mount that we make for this vehicle. Here are two tail housings side by side. This is how we modify ours. We trim this flange right here off as close as we can to the tail housing, so it doesn't interfere with the floor. I'll show you the other side of it. There's the stock tail housing. There's the modified tail housing. Here are the adjustable pressure switches that has to be hooked up to the test port for the governor. You can see that line up there comes down, and then it tees into this brass T. How the pressure switches work is off a ground circuit. So there's 3 wires on here. The center pin, there's 3 pins on the connector for the transmission. The center pin supplies a 12 volt that is activated with the key on to the solenoids, both for the overdrive and the lockup. And then each pressure switch is set to a certain PSI. Now, luckily, the governor spits out 1 PSI of pressure for about 1 mile per hour. So at 55 miles an hour, you're at 55 PSI of pressure. So we have this set up where the overdrive comes in at 45 PSI or 45 mile per hour, and the lockup comes on about 52 miles per hour, and it works real good. The ground circuits go to the 2 outboard terminals on the yellow pin for the connector. We actually got the factory, for the first time, we got the factory floor shifter to work. What we did is we took the bracket that normally would bolt to the tail housing with the 2 studs and to the 2 nuts, and it had a plastic grommet in it, and that bracket holds the Z-bar that goes through the floor that connects to the factory gated slapstick shifter, and we just rerouted a little bit. So now, instead of the Z-bar coming straight up and down out of the floor, it's just at a little bit of an angle. We adjusted the linkage and it worked great. It just, when you look at it, it looks like it's crooked, which it is, because the 518 overdrive section is so much wider than the 727 that it would not fit with the Z-bar going straight up and down. If it was, now we did this because this was an automatic shift, but every single conversion we do is a reverse manual or a reverse manual with the trans brake, where people are going to want an aftermarket shifter anyways. If you want to keep your factory shifter, this is how it looks. We just took the bracket that would normally bolt to the tail housing, straightened it out, bolted to that boss right there, put a new grommet in it, and the Z-bar is just crooked, but it works just fine. So to sum up, to convert these over, small little notch out of the frame, a speedometer cable out of a Dodge truck, a longer truck. If you want to put an aftermarket shifter in here, you can. If not, you can make this bracket straight to use the factory shifter. If you want to go automatic shift, you would need the pressure sensors. I recommend you definitely get the adjustable ones. And other than that, everything else was the same. Oh, we had to cut the drive shaft a little bit too, which you can have done at your local drive shaft store. The inspection cover fit. We did put new cooling lines on here. The kickdown leakage is the same. The dipstick was the same. It really is a fairly easy conversion. So let's take this thing for a test drive and show you how good the overdrive works. Make sure that we don't run out of...
No, I know, I don't know what octane this thing takes.
It's a small block. You could run on P.
Yeah. depends what kind of compression.
Now I gotta edit that.
Well, I mean, it depends what kind of compression rate.
I would just go with the mid-grade.
Yeah.
It could use a little bit more throttle pressure, I think, too. That'll make it a little bit more zippy. It's like sitting in a go-kart. Ain't it?
Oh,
yeah. Oh, great. I'd go. Green. Go, 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 go. Oh.
You're pulling out in front of a car and a truck.
Heck, Toretto would have shifted 3 times just around the turn.
Rumors spreading round United Texas town about the shack outside the game. And you know what I'm talking about. Just let me know if you wanna go to that home out on the range. They got a lot of nice girls. I'm racing.
gas?
What?
No race gas? Is that the official NASCAR filler popper? It should be on the other side if you're going left all the time. Like on the Chargers.
Are some charges in the back?
No, they're all in the quarter panel on the left side.
What's one that's in the back?
Coordinates and Roadrunners are underneath the license plate. Or if your fuel cell is in the trunk like mine, then you pop the trunk. Don't get me car sick.
Yeah, I'll try my best.
You know, I can watch a car driving on a video and get car sick. Leave it on. Accelerated, his shifter came back.
Yeah. I was like, man.
You had me worried there for a minute,
I was
Lucas.
like, what the hell? Yeah. There you go, now it's locked in. It's like, for a second I was like, man, I was like pedaling it to see if it was the kickdown and it wasn't doing anything. I'm
Is
like,
the gas gauge working now? Did it go up?
Yeah, no, it works. So.
Okay.
It was on, we were about to touch E. I think this thing's probably like a 12-gallon tank.
Yeah, I didn't want to chance it.
No, I wouldn't have wanted to either, especially. That would suck. Remember the last time we got stuck on this road?
Yeah, I remember in Tim's truck.
Yeah. That's the one kind of bad thing about having the pressure switches, is say you want to do like 40 miles an hour, anytime you're not like super like consistent with 40 miles an hour. Like right now I'm doing like 41 miles an hour, but as soon as you hit like right under 40, then it just kicked out of just kicked out.
Well, that's good though.
It is, no, it's good that it'll kick out by itself, but I mean, if you're just trying to stay just exactly at 40, then, you know, it's a little...
Well, that's why I like reverse manuals better.
Yeah.
It gives the driver total control. But not everybody wants a reverse manual. I get that. That's no big deal. I wouldn't change nothing. Uh-oh, dog is sniffing me.
Oh, he's fine.
That's what they all say. So we're at Frank Moore's garage, and Frank's the body guy. Ain't you, Frank?
I am.
Say hi to the YouTube world, Frankie.
Hi.
I always like coming here because he's got a cool collection. What are the dogs' names?
Joey and Pete.
Joey and Feedy?
This is Joey.
Boy and girl?
Hi, Joey.
Which one's which?
Joey.
Joey, come here. Hey, yo, Joey. Come here, Joey. Joey.
Come here. Come here. Come on. You guys want cookies? Get a few cookies.
Wow, there ain't much of that firewall that's stock, huh?
No, nothing.
This is a custom job, Frank?
Very.
I see that.
That's on a sits on a Morrison chassis. It's
Oh, really?
LT4, 6 speed.
Uh-huh. What's up, Joey? Oh, he's scared of me.
You gotta know what this is.
Is this a 70 or 71 or
70.
70?
Yeah. Oh, stick.
Look how clean the shop is. Damn.
Wrong.
What's wrong?
He thinks it's a broomstick.
Oh, what, this?
Yeah, we don't know why he's afraid of brooms.
Oh. So if you haven't figured out, Frank's the body guy.
Right?
And he's also
35, 40.
gonna be the one to paint the cornet. So I'm a little excited about that. Oh, that's cool.
Okay. There was just one here.
Yeah, we just got rid of the
Just here the other day.
I like it.
Yeah, red one. I don't know if you have photos of it.
Grandpa's got a red one too.
Oh, does he?
And it doesn't have a small block Chevy in it. Imagine that. Wow. Is this a steel car?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it really?
Yes, it's also real.
No kidding.
That's a real car, yes, sir.
Makes no difference to me. I drive either one of them.
No, but it's really
Boy, that ain't made for a big guy, that's for sure.
It's not,
Woo.
not at all.
Is this a rumble seat style?
Have any pictures?
No.
No.
It's junk.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't have any pictures of this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I think I might have taken one or two.
Mike Safino.
Yeah.
Overdrive.
The overdrive and the lockup come on by themselves.
Okay.
We use pressure switches off the governor sensor.
Fourth gear only.
Yes. And the lockup though too. You linking in Frank's driveway?
Yeah, well, it ain't my doing, it's just the car's doing, that's all.
Lincoln horsepower.
I have to remember that one. Boy, what a beautiful day, huh? There's the old Casper-matic test truck.
I just don't know that.
Yeah, put the pins. They're there for a reason.
He never put them on.
All right.
I mean, they're stuffed up under the bumper.
The hood's gonna fly off. Well, the job turned out really nice. I'm sure the customer's gonna be happy with it. The only thing that was a little aggravating was messing around with those pressure switches. The first two that I bought from that transmission supply company, man, they get 110 or 120 bucks for the pressure switch and the vacuum switch, which we didn't talk much about. The vacuum switch, once it sees a low vacuum, it shuts off the power to the two solenoids inside the transmission, taking away overdrive and lockup at the same time, allowing you to have a passing gear. If you accelerate hard enough to where the kickdown linkage goes back further enough, not only will you get it coming out of overdrive and lockup, you get it to come out of third gear. So it was a nice feature. It does work. That was probably the one thing that I was happy about. But the pressure switches, I come to find out, are dirt cheap, and they're charging like way too much for them, and they didn't work as advertised. So when I was looking into adjustable pressure switches, I found out that that same company offers those pressure switches. Why they don't just offer the adjustable pressure switches right up front, unless they get you twice, they have you buy the first set then the second set. I'm gonna try and return them. I don't know if I can. And one thing about those pressure switches that are preset, that are not adjustable, I belong to a transmission technical brotherhood, you can say, on Facebook, where it's only for professional builders, where we would go ask questions and answer questions about anything transmission related in the industry, of course. So after I put those pressure switches in and Lucas took it for a drive, and as soon as it hit third gear, it went into lockup and overdrive at the same time. It kind of bogged the motor down. Of course, I took a couple of pictures of it, posted up there, and the two guys that replied were like, yeah, those things come on at 35 miles an hour, no matter what it says on there. So at that point, when I saw other builders having issues with the non-adjustable pressure switches, I'm like, okay, fine. I did a little searching. You can go on the internet and pretty much find those anywhere. If you do a Google search on adjustable pressure switches, I will tell you this. The first two non-adjustable pressure switches I got were 8th pipe. So we had everything all set up for 8th pipe thread. The adjustable ones come 1/4 pipe. So then I had to change the fittings and all that around. So it was back to the hardware store, and it was a pain in the neck. So, but we got it. It's what the customer wanted. We accommodated him. We wanted to make it as nice as we could for him, and it ships automatically, both in overdrive and lockup, and it has passing gear for overdrive and lockup. So if you guys are doing this job at home, you can see by watching the video how easy it was. If you're not capable of doing that, you can ship me the whole car and I can do the whole job for you. If you do your own transmissions, we have the cross members and the parts and everything that you need to do the conversion yourself. Like I said earlier, most of the guys that come here are over 500 horsepower, 5 to, much higher up, and the ones we've all done in the past were all reverse manual, and that eliminates any pressure switches. But I only took this on just so I can put it underneath my belt to say that we did it and it could be done, and to show you, the viewer, how easily it is to put an overdrive transmission 46RH in your Mopar muscle car. Now, this is a Challenger. I am sure that your B bodies and A bodies are just slightly different, but for the most part, they're the exact same. You would do it the same way. So I hope the video was clear enough and thorough enough for you guys to see how we went about doing it. I didn't do the build part of it, the building the transmission part, because that's pretty basic, and I've covered that in other videos. This video was just strictly to show you how to convert it from a 727 to a 518 or 46RH. Now, if you have a Gen 3 Hemi, it's the same exact identical swap. Everything will be done exactly the same, except you'll need a flex plate for a Gen 3 Hemi. If you have a big block, there's one extra thing that has to be done, and that would be an ultra belt. It would require removal of the bell housing off, because the 518s only come in small block bell housing. It would require removal of that. That's kind of a bit of a lengthy job. First we cut it, and then we take the case and put it up in the CNC machine, and we make that surface as flat and as close to the Ultra Bell as we can, so it looks almost like Chrysler did it. So if you have a big block, it will require an Ultra Bell. So I think that covers everything. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I want to say thank you for watching. Also, thank you for purchasing our parts and everything. And so it's the weekend has started, so I'm going to edit this and get it out to you. Thanks for watching. Mopar to ya. We'll see you on the next one. And if any of you guys are wondering, did I get out of my bad mood? I did. Have a good one, guys.